Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Kentucky basketball team. And why I want to talk Kentucky basketball is pretty straightforward. It is because, listen, we've talked a ton about them all offseason. You know that I love the roster that Mark Pope has put together. You know that I love the team. Listen, I'll be honest. I was critical of the process that Mitch Barnhart took to get Mark Pope, but I also don't believe that it was a bad hire once they got there. Well, I bring it up because we've talked a lot about that roster. Jackson Robinson was, as of right now, the final piece. They do have a 13th scholarship. But the team has been back on campus. They've been practicing for 2 or 3 weeks now. And a very interesting report came out on Wednesday. So I wake up Thursday morning. I guess it was Thursday afternoon. The report came out, not Wednesday. But I wake up Thursday morning and I see that the current Kentucky basketball team has scrimmaged against the TBT team that's in Lexington. For people who forget what TBT is, that is the basketball tournament. Remember, we have this summer tournament. It's pro players. The only rule is you can't be in the NBA at this point, okay? So in other words, every school, a lot of these colleges, they put together a team of alums. They play in this tournament. It's broadcast on Fox, and you compete for millions of dollars. Syracuse has a team. UConn, for the first time, has a team. And Kentucky has a team, a lot of their former players. Willie Cauley-Stein's on the team. The Harrison twins are on the team. James Young is on the team. Eric Bledsoe's on the team. Daniel Oren's on the team. On and on and on and on. Well, I bring it up for this simple reason. It is because the current Kentucky team did scrimmage the TBT team. And if you believe my old buddy Kyle Tucker from The Athletic, he's blocked me and he talks smack, but he reported, or I don't know if he reported, but he put on Twitter, check this out. He said, this was from about, let me see here. Let's do some math. It's 7 Eastern. It's about noon Eastern, 1 Eastern. He said, in-depth analysis from a member of UK's La Familia alumni TBT team, which lost a scrimmage to the current roster last night. The new Cats shot the crap out of the ball. Apparently, Jackson Robinson was and has been really good. And so if you believe Kyle Tucker, and I can criticize my old buddy Kyle Tucker, but I will, in his defense, he is a good reporter. He is on that beat. He knows what's going on, all that good stuff. He says that the current team beat the TBT team on Wednesday night. To which I say it's hard to know what's totally true. It's hard to know not what's true. But I will say, if Kyle Tucker put it out there, it is probably accurate. And it is an interesting story. And to take it one step further, let me say this. I tried to tell y'all Kentucky would be good this year. And I know it's early. And I know it's a closed door scrimmage. And I know nobody really knows exactly what went on. But I sure do got to believe in my heart of hearts that this Kentucky team probably lived up to those expectations and is really good. And what it really comes down to, I'll just be quick here, end of the show, we're an hour in. What this comes down to, it comes back to what I said all offseason. If you look at the roster, like all these top 25s came out, okay? I had Kentucky at about 13 or 14 by the end of the summer. I believe Alabama is the definitive favorite in the SEC. But you get past them. I think you can make a case for Arkansas. I think you can make a case for Auburn. I think you can make a case for Tennessee, maybe Florida. And I think you can absolutely make a case for Kentucky. And I see all these other top 25s. Kentucky's not in there. Kentucky's at 33. Kentucky's at 41. Kentucky's at 22. What am I missing? Look at the roster that Mark Pope put together. 4 players who averaged double figures in the Power Conference last year. Kirk Risa, Otega Owa, Jackson Robinson. One other that I'm blanking on. I can't remember everybody off the top of my head. Also, beyond that, you got out of the portal the best defensive guard in the portal in Lamont Butler, the best defensive big in the portal in Amari Williams. You also got the best three-point shooter in Kobe Brea. The crazy part was the reports are Kobe Brea didn't even play. I don't believe Lamont Butler played. But what it speaks to is, listen, I don't know exactly what's true. I understand that these TBT teams just came together. They're probably not great defensively, whatever. But it doesn't change the fact that this team is going to be better than people want to give them credit for. I don't understand why I'm the only one on an island talking about how good this team could be. They have size, they have shooting, they have athleticism. All you got to do, if you disagree with Torres, like just break it down to the most simple level. Just think about this. Think about all the players they got out of the portal and where they could have gone. Jackson Robinson could have gone pro. The reports are that Kansas wanted him. I know BYU wanted him. Averaged 13 a game in the Big 12 last year. Amari Williams chose Kentucky over St. John's. If Rick Pitino wanted the kid, guess what? That means he was pretty good. Lamont Butler, I know for a fact the schools that were recruiting him before he committed to Kentucky on the spot, there was a lot of interest. Brandon Garrison, former McDonald's All-American, had just visited Arkansas. John Calipari commits to Kentucky. Kobe Brea, that Final Five, the best Final Five in the history of Final Fives. UConn, Kansas, Carolina, Duke, and Kentucky. He chooses Kentucky. So I could go on and on. It's getting late. Time to get out of here. But I just sit here and say, like, I don't understand why people aren't higher on this team. And that scrimmage probably proved that this team at the very least is underrated. I'll say this. I watched some of the highlights. Kirk Kriisa might be way better than I gave him credit for, because that was the guy that I was like, I don't know. Was he like the seventh man, the backup point guard? That dude can play. Amari Williams looks like a pro. And man, I'm just telling you, that team has a chance to be, I think, surprise a lot of people. The great news is schedules are starting to come out. We're going to find out really early. They play Duke in the Champions Classic. And from there, it gets rolling. They got Gonzaga. They got Ohio State, whatever.